Hello, everyone. Hope you are well on this Saturday morning. Stock up on protein. I'm going to go more into that and why. Also, there is a movement underway. If you haven't noticed yet, there is a huge movement underway. However, well, I call it the Summer of Love Part 2. However, there is a counter movement afoot that I didn't expect, that I don't believe anybody expected. Talk about that a little bit too. Also, the flag, the American flag, and why we defend it, why we protect it. There was a commenter a couple of videos back. Yeah, last video, I think it was 2 videos ago, that called it just a piece of cloth and denigrated it. And I will share how I reacted to that. Okay. Also, I have a very good passage that I will share with you that will make you think. It's good. So stay tuned for that. But first, real quick, we are blessed to be in this neighborhood. It is very quiet in the mornings. And overall, for the most part, it's a quiet neighborhood. It's not very big. It's a small neighborhood. There's only one way in and one way out of our little area here. We are in, and I've never mentioned this before, we live in Jackson County, Georgia. Pretty large county. However, it is the fifth, according to statistics, it is the fifth fastest growing county in the nation, in the country. I believe it. I believe it. Uh, but I think most everybody in here realizes that we realize the growth. We see it coming. Therefore, we we are tight knit. We are very tight knit in here. We were talking to a neighbor yesterday evening out into the driveway, and we're just talking, and a car comes cruising through slow. We've never seen before. This is not familiar to us, and so while we're talking, this car cruises through. Our neighbor is like, "Who the blank was that?" Never seen that car before. And I'm like, "I've never seen it either." But we keep an eye on it. Turns out it looks like they were visiting somebody down the road. So, and that's cool. That's totally good. But, however, if you roll through our neighborhood and your vehicle is not familiar to us, you have eyes on you. There are eyes on you. Even if your car is familiar with you, we're looking out for you. All right. And that's a good thing. Get to know your neighbors, especially the ones that are adjacent to you. I think it's huge. At least have some kind of rapport with them, because you never know if there's a problem, if there's an issue. I know here with our surrounding neighbors, we have multiple ways of communicating with one another, including, and we've done this, you go up and knock on the door, so there is that. But yeah, I wanted to share that. Try to get to know the neighbors that are right around you. It is huge. It's important, especially nowadays. We see what's coming. We see what's coming. All right. Stock up on protein, canned meat, your non-perishables, of course, water. But I think protein's important. I would include water, uh, electrolytes as well. There seems to be some kind of thing, y'all, some kind of, I don't know. I don't know if I can call it an attack. A thing against dairy and meat. I mean, what's take up for the cows? I mean, there's increasing chatter about this bird flu, this H5N1. I'm not in a panic about it yet. However, we need to keep an eye on that. We need to keep an eye on that a lot, seriously. And then there's these recalls of meat. There was a huge recall of meat from Walmart, I think earlier this week, I believe. I forget how many thousands, millions of pounds. That is crazy. But we don't buy meat from Walmart. When we go into Walmart, it's strategic. We go in there maybe for certain things we can't find, or we other places. But everybody has their preferences. But I think it's just a good idea. We're in May now. Time flies, and as we get closer to November, October, November, and you know that period of time, we know the shenanigans are coming. I've said it before. I'll say it again. We know. So let's let's keep our stocks up, stock our pantry, grow what you can, and stock up. All right. Share your thoughts on that. There is a movement underway. I call it the Summer of Love Part 2 personally. And I believe as we are in May right now, and as these it started in the universities. That's where I think they have decided to kickstart this. And as the schools close session for this semester, it's going to move into the streets. I predict. Now, I could be totally off, y'all. I know. But I believe it's going to move into the big cities. That's where they will really coalesce into the big cities. Uh, and then, I saw something that hey, we're going to the country next. Okay, whatever. Good luck with that. Come on. Come on. Bring it. Bring it. But no, I believe they say that every year, but they're going to stay in the cities. I believe. If they have any brains. However, there is a counter movement. I think they ran into a little bit of a buzzsaw going in, starting these at the colleges, at the universities. Now, I they probably had a good plan. Hey, let's start in the universities because we have young, impressionable, brainwashed kids that we can start with, and they're just going to jump right on board with us. And many have. Many have. I saw a video last night of hundreds, and I think it let's look like New York City, but hundreds, if not thousands, of young people, a lot of women, a lot of young women. And I don't know if they're all students. It looked like they were that age at least, that were bending down in that prayer, face down, and converting to Islam. Now, it's your choice. You know, especially the young women. I don't know if they understand what they're signing up for with that. Surely they don't. Maybe they do. Don't know. If I were the parents, I would be. I don't know. I'm not even going to say it out loud here. What I would do as a parent. However, that's scary. Um, let's keep in. Let's do what we can to protect our kids, especially even the adult ones. Not especially, but all our kids. You know, whether they're young or adults, whatever. I don't believe they know what they're signing up for. I know that I saw a little clip of NYPD, some officials high up, and one of the chiefs. And this guy, you know, you can tell he's been on the ground for a while. He said somebody's behind this movement, and this movement started at New York University, NYU, and Columbia, right there near New York City, right in it. He said somebody's behind this movement. It has been well funded, well organized, and he's right. He's right. They were showing some leaflets, some literature that has been spread out on these universities. They're coaching these people what to say when the police confront them or try to arrest them, or arrest them, what not to say, what to say. This has been carefully organized and planned for quite a while, because he said the level of organization to do this, he said, is big. I believe it. But some of these things that they're saying, these leaflets, these flyers, they're saying death to America, long live the Antifada, death to Israel real estate. Yeah, they're saying it out loud in your face, recruiting thousands, hundreds if not thousands of weak-minded young people. They're impressionable at that age. Remember, in John 15:18, Jesus said, they hated me first. If the world hates you, understand they hated me first. Amen. We're seeing that for sure. However, there is a counter move. They've run into a bit of a buzzsaw with these college students, and it started in the South, University of North Carolina, and it's been others too. They've stood up to these people. And I tell you, I don't know, I've talked about it in other videos, but it is very inspiring. I mean, who would have thought that the pushback is from our young people. And it is on their turf. It's on their university. Not the adults, not the administration. Not all of them are bad, I know. Well, many of them are good. But the students, it's not just the South. I saw some videos from Rutgers University. They're pushing it back too. Some of those students are very patriotic. A good number of them. But the University of North Carolina is where it kind of started. Is where at least the media, it kind of got out in these videos. Um, didn't see that coming. But these fraternity brothers at University of North Carolina that started that protected the American flag. Also, Rutgers, like I said, Ole Miss, University of Mississippi, University of Florida, LSU, Alabama, University of Alabama, Arizona, and others. So it's not just the South, but it has been strong. It's been strong in the South. These college students are like, nah, no, 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 not right now, not here, not on our turf. No, you don't. And the cowards will back down. They back down, and it's evident. That's the way it is. That's the way it was in school when the bully is all big and bad on the outside and talks a big game. But once you stand up to it, they melt away. They go away. They go to something else. They go to a better, easier target. They leave you alone. But I believe that's kind of what we're seeing here. But it started with these fraternity brothers, and people talk about, oh, the frat boys, and they've been strong. I mean, and I even saw a video yesterday of a young lady that was out there with them at this University of North Carolina a few days ago, where they stood up to them and protected that flag. And this was a young lady that was right there in the crowd. I don't think she was right there holding that flag up, but she said they were holding up other American flags and the Israeli flags as well. And she had a little interview too, and she was on Fox. Her name is Haley, and young lady, but she was saying similar. She was like, we were going to give our life. We had decided right there, this is where we make our stand. And she made a good point. Just of her interview, her message was that it's coming from a young 21-year-old. She said, we have to stand now. We have to stand here and now, because down the road, if we don't now, down the road, we pay a much bigger price. That was some wisdom. Some wisdom coming from a young person. I'm impressed. It's inspiring. It gives me hope. Uh, but she said, we have to do this now, and that's what we did right then. She said we were getting hit with all kind of stuff. Water bottles. She said one of the guys that was in that video that went viral, where they're holding up the flag. One of the guys, at least one of the guys, was injured, got a gash on his head from getting hit by a bottle. But he stood. He didn't run away. He still stood there, bleeding, holding that flag up. Y'all, that's some good stuff. That's some good stuff. Um, the flag that we had a commenter a couple days ago uh, on my video that said, yesterday or day before, that said, why do you protect? Why are you making a big deal out of a piece of cloth? Now, might have been a troll. I don't know. But before I even saw it, some of you countered that and gave it back to him. Was like, well, give him the what for? And he attacked, and he in turn was making veiled threats to some of you guys. I know Scott was one of them, and some of the other guys, some of the other folks here in the comment section. And Miss Dawg was like, I think you need to. And I wasn't aware of it. I was doing something else. Miss Dawg caught the comment. Miss Dawg reads all these comments probably before I do, and she alerted me, and I jumped on there and saw the threats, and I went ahead and blocked this guy, blocked him off the channel. And before that, though, if it hadn't been for the threats and being very, over the top with it, I would have not. I don't do that first. I try to react and give a warning, or at least reason. Try to, and what I would have said is, it's not just a piece of cloth. This is a symbol. This is not just any cloth. It's a symbol. It's a symbol of freedom. Uh, and we protect it because it is freedom. And I know it's not total freedom. It's not you know, but are we a perfect nation? No. This nation has made big time mistakes. just like any other nation. What nation is perfect? None of them. But it is a symbol of sacrifice, freedom, liberty. Those who have, because we protect it because of those who have sacrificed for our relative freedom. I have family members that have fought and that are veterans that have fought in every major conflict, every one. And so I don't know, on my watch, I'm going to do what I can to defend it and protect it as long as I'm alive. It's a symbol of our Bill of Rights too, our right to practice faith, to freedom of religion, freedom of speech, freedom to defend yourself. And we will continue to do that. So it's not just any flag or any piece of cloth. It's much more than that. It's a symbol. So that would have been my reaction to that person. He didn't give me a chance to do that. But again, you know, people like, well, you know, you had slavery and you conquested it. You know, who's perfect? You know, I still think, given that it's still the best country in the world. Are there other places of freedom that are still out there? Yes, there are. If we fall, the others fall. They do. That's just my belief, of course. I'm biased. I live here. I grew up here, of course. But that's the way I look at it. I don't know. What do you guys think? Now, we do have our problems. I mean, we're in big, deep time trouble. Again, like I've said, this country is multiple problems, maybe more than ever, more deep trouble than we ever had before. But it's not the first time we've had big challenges. So not so fast, my friend. We are not gone yet, and we shouldn't go quietly. We won't. We won't. Not anytime soon. Okay, I'm going to go to a passage because I don't want this to go too long. Too long. I could just talk forever about that, y'all. I don't know. I just drone. Just keep going. All right. All right, this is a good one. This is First Corinthians. I think somebody had made a post or had made a comment about this passage. It's been a while since I've read it. First Corinthians, chapter 2, verses 9 and 10 says, "However, it is written, no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what God has prepared for those who love him." Amen. But God has revealed it to us by his Spirit. The Spirit searches for all things, even the deep things of God. But that no eye has seen, no ear has heard, no mind has conceived what God has prepared for those who love him. People talk about, oh, the heaven's going to be like this. Well, we do have some clues, you know, the streets paved with gold and things like that. But I think I think that kind of what Paul is saying, what this is saying, is that our minds are not capable of really knowing. We don't know exactly what it's going to be. We know that it's going to be awesome. I cannot imagine how beautiful it'll be. I look forward to it when that day comes. But I believe it's so beyond our comprehension, but beyond our imagination, that we will be just in awe. I can't imagine. Share your thoughts on that. All right. Let's be safe. Let's keep preparing. We're coming in. We're in a weekend now, so let's keep alert and keep our situational awareness going, of course, and keep preparing and share your thoughts. Stay close to Jesus. Be careful out there. God bless you. See you soon.